Cassy and Eric here, and thanks for joining us on She Talks, He Listens, the podcast where we dive into the ups and downs of relationships through all of life's twists and turns.
We're here to share our journey with you and explore the many lessons we've learned along the way. Whether you're just starting out, hoping to strengthen your relationship, or working to reconnect, we've got you covered. Join us as we challenge and inspire you to grow together and become the very best versions of yourself, side by side.
All right, welcome back to She Talks, He Listens.
Hey everybody, we're alive!
It's been a while since we've been on here. We haven't been doing much, but
no, nothing's been going on in our life. We were supposed to record an episode, was it 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And Hallie got soft kicked out of daycare.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to record the day we had planned on it before our whole life turned upside down. So sorry guys. I've had a few people reach out and be like, we're ready for a new episode. And I'm like, me too. But our hands have been a little full.
Yeah, we haven't had hardly, any time to do anything outside of your, daily responsibilities, taking care of the kids,
laundry, feeding them,
walking the dogs,
trying to sleep.
Yeah.
What's going on? Do you want to make our announcement?
Yeah. So we've decided to move states for, what time is this? 4, 5, 6?
I don't know. I've lost count.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we did count it out. Because we counted Daisy's move. Our 15-year-old dog, well, my dog, she's, was it 10
Not
times?
my dog.
Was it 10 times that she's moved in her life? So, yeah that tells you.
Out of her 15 years, she's been in a new house.
Yeah, so with our 4-week-old baby and our 3-year-old, we decided to move out of state. And so we didn't just change backgrounds on y'all. This is our it's my new office and a blank canvas.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
It's a work in progress. We'll get it back to
Yeah. So the move, you want to share the backstory of why we moved? You're the reason we moved.
Yeah. So my company had an opening. So I actually applied for a management position at my company. Didn't get it, but with every closed door, another one opens. So the rep that actually took that position was in the state that we're in now.
Yeah.
And I was able to move into that role.
Yeah.
So God's plan. Long story short, it was just a really cool opportunity to move into much, I guess, better territory within my company that I think we're both excited about.
Yeah, open new doors. Well, what's crazy is we had knocked on a few doors thinking that we were going to make a move. We've been talking about making a move and shifting, whether it was moving houses or moving states or whatever. We talked a lot about it and nothing worked out. And we both believe in the bigger plan and everything works out for a reason or doesn't work out. And so
are you saying it all works out?
Kind of, but don't hold me to that because again,
it always all works out.
It does. Back to what I said on our last episode, because someone makes it work out. But remember when I told you that the 3 things had to happen? We had to sell our house, which the market is weird. Everybody knows that. I'm in that industry. I know that. We had to find a house. And we had to get our daughter into daycare, which if you're a parent, getting a child into daycare right now is an act of Congress. It truly is so hard to get kids into daycare. And within the same 24-hour time span, 2 weeks after you had the opportunity to move, all 3 of those things fell into place. We sold our house, first showing, first interested buyer, first day on the market. And then we had our offer accepted on this house. And then we got the call that our daughter got into school. So we took that as our God wink to just go. We were so fortunate because the buyers buying our house gave us a long closing. So I was able to pack and get everything ready while you were working and have a baby.
Well, it is crazy because, like you said, we were knocking on doors. There were a couple other opportunities that I was looking into.
Yeah.
And, we thought we had it. And then, just at the end didn't work out. And I was like, well, why is this happening?
Yeah.
And,
it was frustrating.
It was frustrating. And, as time passed, there was a really good opportunity that popped up and, everything else just fell into place. So it's one of those things where it truly all did just work out. And it was just so, at least the start of this journey was so easy.
Yeah. the start of this journey was so easy, which is what we want to talk to you guys about today. Today's episode is really just going to be a life update and hopefully make you laugh. We can laugh about it now. We were not laughing during, and then we'll resume our regularly scheduled programming. But last episode we talked about like being intentional, finding places like finding ways to laugh, things to laugh at. Like when we were talking about the transition from 1 to 2, being patient, all the things we talked about really came full circle the last few weeks for us with the move. So I think that's the story that we should focus on for today. Once we decided we were going to do this, we had 60-ish days, right? Like, do you feel like that's fair? It was 60 days, almost on the dot, because that's what our closing was. Yeah. And the countdown was so on. But there was a lot that we couldn't do until closer to time. Right. So it just got more chaotic as we approached our departure, our Alabama departure. But I think we should share like our moving stories as as an episode today because there were a lot. There were a lot of goodies in there. So where do you want to start?
I guess at the beginning.
Okay.
That makes the most sense.
Sure.
I mean, our plan was to pack, at least a box a day or 2 boxes a day, for 60 days. And I feel like you did a pretty good job of that, and I would help when I could.
Pretty good job. I nailed it. I was also 8.5 months pregnant.
Yes, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
So once we got into January, obviously we had
our daughter.
our daughter. So that took about a week off of that timeline. And from there, like as it got closer, you're getting the U-Haul and all the packing supplies. And, we had our garage was full of boxes and it looked like we had done a lot. And, once you pull that U-Haul out, start loading the boxes, and then you see what just other
how much
junk
you have,
other junk that you have in your house. I felt there were several times where me and my dad, as we were loading the truck, we were like, okay, are there any more big items? And my mom would be like, no other big items. And then we'd turn around and there'd be like 4 more in the garage. Like,
well, big is subjective, but I think we need to go back a little bit because you're skipping ahead. So the week before our move, we had this whole plan, and like they say, make plans and God laughs. That is like our life all the time. And so the week before our move, our daughter was so done with all the things. She was ready to move. She was excited. Our whole box was in shambles. We had also brought this baby home. Like her life was being turned upside down, which transitions are hard. And so that week before, I don't know if you remember on the call, she was having problems at school. And I'm like, watch something happen where she not be able to go to school and you are going to be gone. And I'm going to be stuck with both of the kids stuck. I say that lightly. I love them, but I needed to pack and just be absolutely screwed. And sure enough, the Thursday before we were moving, we were loading the U-Haul on Tuesday. I get a call from Hallie's school that basically they can't get her to go back to her class after pulling her out of nap time because she just was refusing to go back. And she's very stubborn and persistent and she knows what she wants. And it was a hot mess. So I had to go get her. She was so upset. It was like a mini exorcism taking place in the car. I was so upset. I couldn't get her into her car seat. We were FaceTiming with my sister. We called your mom. I spent 40 minutes in her daycare parking lot just trying to convince her to get in the car and go home. And that was a hot mess of a day in itself. So she was supposed to go to daycare Friday and then Monday and Tuesday. So I'm like, we've got 3 more days to get her through school so that I can get stuff done at home. Well, sure enough, Friday comes around, same thing happens. We get to nap time and basically they pulled her out of nap time because she wouldn't nap and let her do all these fun things in the front. And then she didn't want to go back to her class. Because why? Why would you want to go back when you're hanging out with some really cool admin like she does? The front office at her old daycare was awesome and we loved them. And so I'm like, I wouldn't really want to go back either. So she did it. So they called me and I had to go get her again. And I basically was like, listen, this will be your last day. I can't do the back and forth. It's too hard with the baby. It's like a waste of everyone's time. And I'm frustrated and she's frustrated. So that started the clock of time with Hallie at home. And then you left me on Sunday. Is that right? So Sunday.
Take my truck up to our new house.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Your work truck.
Because we had more cars than drivers.
Yeah. Along with our dogs.
Along with the dogs. Had to take them to the kennel. So There was a lot, but I mean, you were dealing with much more than I was.
Yeah, so you had the dogs, and then you stayed up here for a night before you drove back.
Hmm.
Your parents came down to help us with you, but like I was solo with the girls that weekend trying to pack, and luckily I had help. I had friends coming over. My sister was a huge help. We couldn't have done the move without her. And then by the time you guys got to us, I was like, all right, it's showtime. Like,
Yeah.
let's get this done. I am so done and want to be done. And so Monday night, we got lucky. You unloaded, or you guys packed all the boxes,
Yeah.
almost all of them, in the U-Haul.
Well, we did luck out because our original reservation was for the day of, and they didn't open till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so I called this place that U-Haul made the reservation for because you can pick a location and then U-Haul just changes it on you. So as I'm driving in, back into Alabama, I give this place a call. I was like, I'm just going to pick it up tonight. And that we lucked out on that because we needed all the time that we could get.
Yeah.
Uh,
So a little bit of backstory.
really didn't know, like, you don't know how much stuff you have in a house until you start moving it out. And I thought we were in really good shape. And
We
it would
weren't.
have been a disaster if we didn't get it the night before.
Yeah. Well, it was a disaster anyways. I like that Tuesday was like probably one of the hardest days of my entire life of living. And I know I'm a dramatic person, but it was because so Eric and his dad decided that we didn't need movers. You guys were just going to do it. And your mom was going to be on baby duty. And then we had Hallie at home. And luckily my sister took her. Thank God. We wouldn't have made it either any other way. But we're at noon. We're at 12 o'clock on Tuesday, and we're supposed to be out at 5 o'clock for the walk. And I'm looking around and I'm like, there is no way this is getting done by 5. And there's also no way this is all going to fit on the truck. Do you want to tell them about the paint, or do you want me to paint that picture? No pun intended.
We don't need to
Oh,
talk
we
about
don't
the
need to
paint.
bring up. No, we are going to bring up the paint because I feel like this is like an unofficial roast Cassy podcast, and I don't have as many opportunities to roast Eric, so
I don't
I'm
know.
going to ride this wave. Are you ready? Can I surf?
I have expired paint, and that's what I do for my job.
Yeah,
And it was
32
expired.
gallons of paint in
Where
our
am I supposed
garage.
to put all of that paint?
I don't know, but the garage was your baby. I packed our entire house, and the garage was your baby to take care of. And the day of moving, you're just thinking that we're going to get rid of all this paint. Like, it's just, where did you think it was going to go?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was no plan.
It's gonna leave it in the garage.
Things all work out until you have 32
just in
gallons
case
of
the new
paint.
homeowners needed some expired white paint.
No one wants expired white paint. So it's noon. I am stressed. Okay. I am stressed, and this is a hard day anyways. And we have 32 gallons of paint to our name. We have a U-Haul that's not going to fit all of our stuff, and we're running out of time. And so basically your mom starts getting on the phone with places for the paint. I start getting on the phone with places for a trailer because we're going to need more room. I also start posting our shit to Facebook Marketplace for free for whoever could come get it the fastest, because I'm like, we're officially in the panic zone.
Okay. But I did tell you to sell that stuff. We don't need to take it, and you didn't want to listen to me.
I wanted to bring it because I knew that we were going to be on a budget when we got up here, that you weren't going to let me go buy a bunch of new furniture.
You have anyway.
No, I have not. I have furniture. Everything that I have bought has been a household appliance. Like the Swiffer Wedge does not count. What furniture have I bought?
No furniture you bought. I've been to Target twice already, though.
Okay, Target is not furniture. It could be a lot more expensive. Either way, we found a trailer. Your mom found a place to go take the paint, and I'm like, okay, things are looking up. And so you all leave me. I'm wearing Sophie and vacuuming the house and cleaning like a crazy person. And you guys are gone for what felt like 8 hours. Oh, I forgot to mention our realtor, God love her. We had the best realtor ever. If you're in Alabama and you need a realtor, reach out to me. She's the best. She moved our walk to 7. She got us 2 hours of time, but we were also expecting really bad storms, which in Alabama is no joke, because it's like, it could be fine, or it could be the next great flood, or it could be tornado central. You just never know. So you guys are gone forever. Your mom drives 30 minutes to take this godforsaken paint, all to be told they can't take it. So she had to turn back around and bring all that paint back. And then you guys get the trailer, but you had to go buy something for the hitch. Is that right?
Yeah, we had to buy that.
Yeah. So you're making all these stops, and I'm just at our house like, holy hell, how did we get in this situation where we're just wasting all this time that we don't have, and all this stuff is still in the garage? So you guys get back with the trailer. Half of the trailer is filled with paint. half of it.
That's dramatic.
No, it's not. Like we had to give half of this trailer to paint. So all day your dad had been super strategic about placing things in the U-Haul, making sure things were taken care of. And by the time it's like 4 o'clock at this point, right? Don't you feel like it's 4:30? We're just throwing stuff in. We're like, shove it in, whatever opening you can. Our neighbor ended up driving by asking if we needed help. And we were like, yes, we need all the help we can get. Anybody with 2 arms is officially a candidate to load this U-Haul.
He's like, I got a dumpster at my work and I could just take all that paint. So
but
whatever paint we couldn't fit in the trailer, like we gave to him. And
had that paint in the first place. It still makes me so angry that you don't own what a mess that paint was. Like that was the word. It's in our garage now. It's still with us.
It is.
Yeah, we still have this freaking paint. So then we get a call that the new owners want to come early because of the storms. And I get that. So I'm like, well, they can, but I have no idea what state the house is in because we're cleaning it. So they show up. We have everything in and we're mopping and we're cleaning. And like, don't you feel like the last stuff you pack is the worst because it's all the small stuff? Like I felt like there was just stuff coming from everywhere. And I'm like, I thought we had packed the house.
Yeah, it's just odds and ends.
Brooms, mop,
like all the
bucket,
stuff you don't really
cleaning stuff.
Think about, yeah.
It just kept coming. And the thing about moving out of state is you can't go back and make a second trip. Our vacuum, our trash cans, to the point that I was like, well, our neighbor did just start taking stuff. Like he took our lawnmower.
Here's my lawnmower. Here's my seed spreader.
I mean, we have nothing.
We don't have a yard.
Our canvas, that's why our background is blank. We actually have nothing here. Like nothing came with us.
Your decorations.
I like
a lot of the garage stuff.
At that moment, I felt like we were giving our entire house away. I was like, just take it. We don't care.
In all honesty, it was like less than 10 items.
Well, then it starts pouring down rain. Mm-hmm. It is raining, which is how I felt. And a dear friend of mine has a great book called Just Brave It. And it's like the Missy Elliott song, I Can't Stand the Rain. That's what I felt like. I was feeling that moment in real life. And so I'm still wearing her. You guys are all out in the garage. The new homeowner is coming in with the realtor and I start crying. I don't know if you know this. Like I just start crying because at that point it hit me that we were moving, that we were leaving everybody and that we were leaving this house. And I never took a moment because that's the first house we brought like our first daughter home to, then obviously our second. And I was like, why didn't I take a picture with Hallie in her first room? Why didn't I get a picture of all of us out front? Why didn't I think of any of this until right now? And I'm just crying. And I'm like, these people probably think I am absolutely nuts. Like, I'm sure they still do. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, and I had left them a note and a little gift basket because it was their first home and that's super exciting. But it just hit me. And then I had to drive with our baby to go get our dog, to get Hallie, and you guys all went to the hotel, and it's like a torrential downpour, and it was really very symbolic for me. I'm like, this is such a mess. So I get to my sister's house, and I just cried. I don't even know how long I sat and cried and just word vomited how mad I was at you. Like, I was so pissed and angry, and I was just like, I don't even want to go be in the same room as you. And we just share a hotel room, which is even smaller than a normal space with our 2 kids. And so we got to the hotel in our room by like 8:30 and then had to close on our house at 9 a.m. the next morning and then drive 9 hours, 8.5 hours, 7.5 hours.
Well, 7.5 hours, but with all the stops, it was pretty close to 10.
Yeah. And
we rolled in at about 9 p.m.
Yeah. So we got up, we did our closing. Our closing took 2 hours, which was 2 hours too long. Yeah. Took freaking forever. And then we get on the road and I have both the kids by myself because that car was the only car that could fit both car seats. So I'm doing this drive with our children alone, just pissed and tired and sad and feeling, all the things. We do have our baby with us because this is our life. Hey, sister, it's okay. We're just going to feed you. That's what we'll do. And we finally made it up here and then we crashed at your parents' house. Mm-hmm. And that was that.
It was 65 and sunny. Well, it rained that night. And then when I dropped off the trailer and the U-Haul at our new house, it was like 30, maybe in the 20s. Mm-hmm. Brutal wind. Yeah. Just wind chill. Like it was so cold.
Welcome home is what it felt like. Well, and then we had to get up the next day and close and unload the whole U-Haul. Now we got lucky the day we unloaded the U-Haul. Like
at least it was sunny.
It was sunny. Yeah, it wasn't raining, but that was the hardest thing we've ever done. I mean, I I know, like when we were telling people we're moving, you're starting this new territory, we're having a baby, people are like, you're crazy. And we're like, yeah, we are. We own that. We know we're crazy.
Band-Aid off that.
Just rip the Band-Aid
Do
off
it all at once.
all at one time. But it like going through it was definitely one of the hardest things we've ever done.
It was hard
as a family.
But we've made it through. Still unpacking a couple rooms, but you've gotten a lot done.
I do not have one decoration hung. And if you know me, that is like depressing.
But you've gotten all the rooms that we live in.
Yeah.
Are done.
Unpacked.
Yeah.
Well, just it's like freaking hard. It's hard moving with kids. You and I have moved
several times.
Yeah. How many states? We were going to share that. I remember talking about that. Is it 7?
It's like Illinois, Missouri, Florida, Alabama.
Oh, I was in Tennessee.
I think I said Iowa. So it's been 6, 7 states.
Yeah, that we've done together as a couple. Minus
this was
Tennessee.
the first one with kids. And
it sucks.
It's a lot different vibe.
I don't know. If you're listening to this and you've moved with kids, like there should be a special sort of warning label. Almost to the, well, we did talk about, that's the thing. The thing that sucks is
not just kids though, like a 3-year-old and a
newborn and 2 dogs. We talked about a lot of different ways to do it. Like at one point we're like, well, do we send the girls up first? Do we separate? Do we keep them? And we landed with sending the dogs, which if we wouldn't have done that, I don't even know what we would have done. I would have had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, it would have been trying to get them in the hotel room. Yeah. Like it would have been a disaster.
And we had
more so than it already was.
We had family help. We had friend help. We had family help again. Like I can't even imagine had we done it by ourselves. And I think about all the military families that move and do it by themselves. I'm like, how the hell do you guys do it and not kill each other? I mean, I really thought that night that I was going to kill you. I was like, I'm going to kill you. This is it. It's like episode.
Killing was reciprocal.
I don't know why you felt like you were going to kill me because I had done everything I needed to do.
Because I was following your orders and then
orders?
And then I would do.
You did not pack the garage. That was something that you were supposed to do and you did.
The U-Haul, like getting the trailer, I took too long. Like those were things that I couldn't control. And
you also locked the lock on backwards, so you had to go buy pliers to pop the lock off.
The only way that 1950s lock would lock.
I don't even know where that
we did this we did this last time in Florida, and we had to get a wire cutter at that point too.
We hung over that move, and so that made a little bit of sense to me. But this time, I'm like, what was the excuse for not being able to figure out the lock?
But I mean, the lock, it only goes on one way. I tried to do it the other way to make sure that the key was pointing out, and you can only do it from the inside. So I did that, and it fit, and it was dark.
Per usual, your mom would say the move went great.
We went and bought bolt cutters. We went and bought a lock.
All those things wasted time.
8:30. We didn't even
wasted time. You went to go get breakfast. Like, why didn't we just order it? I'm like, everything that you could have done that day to waste time, you did.
15.
Doesn't matter. We were on the clock. Like,
This is the difference right here, though. Like, I'm gonna get up and eat breakfast. If we need supplies, I'm gonna go and get supplies.
Chris's for lunch if you could have. You're like, we have all the time in the world. Let's go have a 3-course meal. I'm like, no, eat an Uncrustable and move. Like, let's go.
I would not have had a 3-course meal.
You would have. Like, that's what it felt like. I felt like I was being punked all day, especially when the paint thing came to fruition. Is that
just get so worked up?
I do.
And you don't handle adversity well?
I do too. I don't handle it well when it's preventable. It's so preventable.
When something comes up that goes wrong, and it always does, it's like crisis mode.
Yeah. And guess who fixed it? Who got the trailer figured out?
I did.
No, you did not. I reserved it. I gave you the address of where to go. I told you what to do.
I know, and I went and got all the supplies and brought it back.
I'm handling mercy by fixing it. The problem with the whole move was, and this was the theme, I felt like I did everything in my control to be ready. Like I did everything I could to be organized inside. And I felt like you did nothing to be organized, which is the story of our life as a relationship.
The garage was in shambles anyway. And it's not like you can't pack a Peloton. You can't pack a lawnmower.
What about the paint and the trash and all the shit we should have gotten rid of?
We've already touched on that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think that is where I really struggled. And I still don't feel like you're owning it. You're not owning it right now. So I'm just saying, we're not going to open this can of worms because we moved on and our marriage has survived.
Really, you haven't.
I haven't accepted it. I've moved on. But like just talking about it makes me mad. Like I'm like, oh. But all that to be said, we made it. We're here.
Yeah.
And we wanted to update you guys. what's so funny is how long it's taken to update them. And our next podcast will be back on track. We'll be sharing all the things about our transition, and I don't know. We haven't really talked about it yet. We're taking it one day at a time.
Our transition, Hallie's transition.
Yeah. What's going well?
Yeah.
Oh, what's our victory lap? We didn't start with it.
Getting here.
I think our victory lap is still that we're sitting by each other.
Grave.
I think our victory lap is that we're still sitting together, and we've loved each other since then.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, that's the victory lap.
Shared victory lap.
Our girls are doing great. They're really rocking. This girl does not stop eating, so that's a good thing. She's healthy. She's a healthy baby. But yeah, it's been great giving you guys the update. We are still sleep deprived. We're still definitely surviving, which I think speaks volumes to my thought process. Train of thought.
Jeez.
I'm so tired.
Cassyism.
Yeah, well, I don't even think that. I think that's just sleep deprived. But we appreciate y'all listening. If you made it this far, we're excited to keep doing this with you from our new space, sharing all the good new things that are coming. There's still some more exciting announcements, so we'll leave you with that dangling carrot.
I don't think that's what it's called. Piece, like a nugget of information. I don't know.
I think it's
dangling carrot. Cliffhanger. I don't know what a dangling carrot is, but that's all right. You'll get there.
All right, y'all. We hope you have a great rest of your week. We hope that you laughed at least one part of this. And if you didn't, come back for one more because it'll be better.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Dangling carrot really not a thing.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, every step is a chance to grow together during both perfect and even imperfect moments.
We'll be here to help keep the conversation going, so join us next time for more insights, lots of laughs, and our story. Until then, keep talking, keep listening, and keep showing up for each other. See you next time.